What's up, YouTube? Today I have a Sera deck that I think is going to be pretty strong later today with the release of Captain Carter and Goliath. I think there's going to be a lot of ongoing running around, and I'm going to make some Captain Carter decks, some Goliath decks, but in the meantime I wanted to push out a deck that I think could be a strong counter to that meta that you're going to see on day one. Now, this deck is pretty all in on the Sera tech plan, and it is definitely flawed. I played for a while and didn't do amazing overall. However, a lot of close games, and I think once the meta is more ongoing oriented, this is going to be a super fun one to play, to kind of be a thorn in the side of all those players testing out the new card. So I usually try to do that a little bit on day one unless I'm super jazzed about the new card. So let's go ahead and get a card by card and figure out how this Sera deck works. It's pretty straightforward, but there's a couple nuances that will be good to go over. So first, Echo. With all the ongoing, Echo's going to be pretty strong. I found out near the end of the games that I probably didn't want to play Echo on turn 1 a lot of the time. We don't have turn 2 plays straight up in this deck, so it's possibly better to wait. You're not always going to have priority when you do that though, so not the end of the world, but Echo's just going to snipe some stuff. The bigger thing is it's not really going to snipe in this deck because you're not going to have priority, but what it can do is stop them from playing in the Echo lane, so you know the other 2 lanes are where you want to set up for your endgame Enchantress and Grandmaster plays, or Enchantress Absorbing Man. So it can be really useful in telegraphing your opponent where to go later in the game. Zabu, there's 3/4 costs in this deck, so Zabu I think is just making it. Could consider cutting Zabu for something like Quake. I tested Quake out a little bit, and it could be good to have some location changing, because once you're Seraing, it's not making a huge difference with Zabu anyway, but still having your 4 cost cards be down to 2 with Sera and Zabu is super strong, so we'll see. For now, Zabu's in the deck. Shadow King, it's just a great answer to so many things that you wouldn't even think about. Phoenix Force, stuff that Conchu brings back with extra power. Anytime move or bounces is good. Shadow King needs to be played, so it's good in this Sera deck because it answers things that Shang-Chi maybe doesn't. It can answer just threats. You can even Shang-Chi one lane and then take out Cassandra Nova with Shadow King in another. So, versatile card and good in a Sera deck. Grandmaster is a great toolbox card. You can use it in conjunction with any of your tech cards on the side lanes to take out stuff in the middle lane as well. A lot of times I won't even have Sera, and I'll Shang-Chi and Grandmaster on turn 6 and take out some big threats in both lanes. Rogue, like I said, we're targeting ongoing, so Rogue's great for that. It can also take out Mobius and bring it to your side, which is huge, especially in a Sera deck. If people think that Sera decks might be a little more common in the next few days, you're going to see a lot of Mobius, so Rogue is critical for that. Red Guardian takes out Dracula's, takes out a ton of things, shields, Sam Wilson, so Red Guardian has a place in a Sera deck, I think. And we're just throwing all the tech out there that we can. Ghost, you're usually not going to have priority, but sometimes opponents will recognize that you're playing a Sera deck and they will try to throw priority to you, and Ghost just says, nope, I'm gonna go last. And people don't play Ghost, but I do love Ghost in a Sera deck, and I play it anytime I can. Starbrand, this deck lacks one thing: it lacks power, and Starbrand helps you with that. You can sometimes win a lane with Starbrand. It's great with Enchantress, obviously. I've even had a couple games, I'm not sure if any of them made the gameplay that's coming up, but where Bar with No Name, I win with a sneaky Starbrand at the end of the game because it puts the 3 power in there for the opponent and they're not expecting it. So it's just a stat stick that you really need in this deck. I used to run like a Miss Marvel in this style of deck, but it's just too hard with the Grandmaster and all the power moving around in Scream decks, so Starbrand's our stat stick of choice for this Sera deck. Shang-Chi, critical, you just need it. You got to take out those big threats at the end of the game. You're not putting a lot of power on the board yourself, so taking out their giant beaters is the only way to win. Absorbing Man is going to double up any of your tech cards, except for Rogue, so be careful with that. Rogue seems like it would work with Absorbing Man, but I burned myself on that a lot, where once Rogue resolves, unless it's copying something like Electro or something weird that has an ongoing and a non-reveal, it's no longer a non-reveal, so Absorbing Man will not copy a Rogue that has already resolved. If Rogue hits the board and for some reason fizzles, you can copy it with Absorbing Man, but just something to keep in mind. Enchantress, like I said, we're targeting ongoing. Not much else to say. Good with Starbrand. Sera is the card that makes the deck work, lets you play a bunch of cards on turn 6, usually with, something like Ghost and no priority. And that's the deck. So let's go ahead, get into some gameplay. I think that, like I said, this will be a lot stronger after the new cards release later today. So I'm going to keep playing afterwards, and we'll see how it goes. But take a look at the gameplay. Got a move deck. I actually do like our odds. Not to win Mojo World, but we have Ghost and Shadow King. I imagine they probably have Cosmo, like the last move bounce player. But let's just get Sera down. Okay, so if their plan is the torches, we can, as long as... So if they play Cosmo, let's just do that. Unfortunately, Cosmo is going to be the problem. Ghost. Zabu Rogue. Alright, they didn't get the Cosmo. Which means we've got to take the Madam Web. Now we should be able to Shadow King, Absorbing Man, a Guardian. Move the Zabu over. Okay. See if they have Cosmo. Hold on. They can't move out of this lane. They would have to play Heimdall. And I'm going for it. I'm just choosing to believe Cosmo is not a card. Okay, no Cosmo. Just Echo in mid. Conchu deck. Okay, Gamelab. I know, I like the Echo too. Such a nice variant. Oh boy, Altar of Death. Wonder if our Ghost will survive over here. They have priority. Maybe Red Guardian will... They could just leave it alone. I'll do Red Guardian. I won't. I'm gonna trust the process. Well, that's okay. We don't really need Ghosts. They have priority now. Okay. Alright. We got the Shang-Chi Grandmaster line. Sera here because we'll have Hulk remaining after the Shang-Chi Grandmaster. We won't have Hulk. Okay, Shang-Chi, Grandmaster, Red Guardian. So, Iron Man Odin for their Khonshu if they drew it. So perhaps we Rogue. I think so, yeah. Okay. That'll do it, I think. By one. Or by 7. Okay, we'll see if we can cheese it out with Starbrand at the end of the game or something. Until they drop a Legion. Given this is a Airsham deck, I guess. Thanos. I gotta start saving Starbrand for the end of normal games too. Okay. So we'll just drop Ghost. Ghost Red Guardian. Okay, so here's the deal. We need to mess with their Soulstone. We don't know where they're going to play their Soulstone. We didn't draw Enchantress or Absorbing Man, which we needed. I don't know. Okay. That works. So that's the deck. Obviously I showed you some wins, but I had plenty of losses. It's a work in progress. It's a deck that needs a lot of play to figure out all the correct ways to play, positioning, lines, and you have to get lucky. You have to make sure that you're covering all your bases against your opponent. I do think when the meta is a little more greedy, this is more powerful. If there was a ton of bounce out there, this would feast, and it has in the past for me. So I'm thinking that the ongoing decks coming up are going to be hard countered by this. So that's the plan. I'm going to be trying it out. So maybe we can even get to Infinite with it later today. We'll take a look. But thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you like the content. I'll be coming out with more videos, especially new card videos as they're coming down the pike here. But thanks for watching. Later.